Far beyond the edge of human space, where the stars looked cold and lifeless, a single structure floated in the darkness. It was small compared to warships. It had no massive cannons, no heavy armor, no visible shields. It looked weak, fragile, unimportant. To most civilizations, it would look like nothing more than abandoned space junk. But today, it had become the center of attention for the most powerful empire in the galaxy. A massive alien fleet surrounded it from every direction. Thousands of ships blocked the light of nearby stars. Each ship was larger than mountains on Earth. Their weapons glowed with quiet power. Their engines burned with cold blue light. They had come for one reason: to erase humanity. Inside the alien command ship, Supreme Commander Zyron stood tall. His dark armored body reflected the holographic screen in front of him. On that screen was the small human structure. He stared at it for a long moment. Then he laughed. A deep, cruel laugh filled the command chamber. "This is their defense," he said. His officers laughed with him. One of them spoke. "This species calls itself humanity, yet this is all they have." Another officer added, "They are weaker than the others we destroyed." They had conquered hundreds of worlds. They had erased entire species. They had never seen a defense so small, so helpless. To them, it was an insult. Far away, inside the human structure, everything was quiet. The walls were simple. No decorations. No signs of fear. Only machines. And one human. Commander Elias Kane sat alone in the control room. He looked at the screen in front of him. It showed the alien fleet. Ship after ship. Endless. Enough firepower to destroy Earth many times. But his face showed no fear. His breathing was calm. His hands rested gently on the control panel. He had been waiting. Waiting for this exact moment. A warning alarm echoed softly in the room. Not loud. Not urgent. Just calm. Like it already knew what would happen. On his main screen, a message appeared. Incoming transmission. He pressed the accept button. The face of the alien commander appeared. Cold eyes. No mercy. No hesitation. "You are alone," the alien commander said. His voice was calm but filled with arrogance. "You have no fleet. You have no escape. You have no future." He paused. Then he continued. "Surrender now, and your death will be painless." Commander Kane listened silently. He did not respond. He did not beg. He did not threaten. He simply watched. The alien commander waited. But the human said nothing. This angered him. "Your silence will not save you," the alien said. "You are weak. You are nothing." The transmission ended. Silence returned. Commander Kane leaned back slowly. His eyes moved to one object on the control panel. A single red button, covered by a clear protective shield. It looked simple, almost harmless. But it was not. He remembered the words Earth Command had told him before he came here. "This is not a weapon. This is a warning. If they attack, do not hesitate." Outside, the alien fleet began to move. Weapons charged. Energy gathered at the front of their ships. They were preparing to fire. They believed victory was already theirs. They believed humanity had already lost. Commander Kane looked at the endless fleet one last time. His face remained calm. But his eyes held something else. Not fear. Not anger. Certainty. He placed his hand slowly on the protective shield. And whispered quietly, "They should have stayed away." Outside, the first alien weapon fired. A beam of pure destruction raced toward the human prototype. And in that moment, humanity stopped waiting. The beam of alien energy crossed the darkness in seconds. It was bright enough to blind sensors, powerful enough to destroy entire cities. It struck the human prototype directly. The alien fleet waited for the explosion. They expected fire. They expected debris. They expected victory. But none of that happened. The beam hit the structure. and disappeared. No explosion. No damage. No response. The prototype remained exactly where it was. Silent. Still. Untouched. Inside the alien command ship, confusion spread across the bridge. Officers checked their scanners. Their weapons had worked perfectly. The hit was direct. There was no mistake. Supreme Commander Zyron narrowed his eyes. "Fire again," he ordered calmly. Another ship moved forward. Its main cannon charged with more power this time. The weapon glowed brighter than before. Then it fired. The second beam slammed into the prototype. Again. Nothing happened. The structure did not move. It did not break. It did not even react. It was as if the attack never existed. Slow laughter began to spread among the alien officers. One officer spoke with amusement. "This is their greatest defense." Another added, "It cannot even respond." To them, it looked like humanity had sent an empty shell. A useless machine. Something abandoned. Something forgotten. They believed humans were cowards. Too afraid to fight. Too weak to resist. Far inside the prototype, Commander Elias Kane watched everything. The impact had registered, but not as damage. His screen showed a different message. Prototype status. Activation conditions met. His heartbeat slowed. This was it. The moment he had trained for. Years ago, Earth Command had given him a simple mission. Wait. Observe. Do nothing unless they attack. Because the prototype was never meant to fight first. It was built to answer aggression, not to start it. Another alarm appeared. Calibration sequence started. The entire station hummed softly. Not from damage, but from awakening. Systems that had been silent for years began to move. Energy flowed through hidden layers. Deep inside the structure, something ancient and powerful came online. Commander Kane remained still. He showed no panic. No hesitation. Outside, the alien fleet grew more confident. Ships moved closer. They wanted to watch the destruction up close. They wanted to see humanity's failure with their own eyes. Supreme Commander Zyron smiled coldly. "Prepare full fleet strike," he ordered. Thousands of alien weapons began charging at once. The darkness of space filled with deadly light. Enough power to erase the prototype forever. Inside the human station, a final message appeared. Primary system ready. Commander Kane looked at the red button again. He remembered Earth. Its oceans. Its cities. Its people. They trusted him. Not to save them, but to protect them. He slowly raised his hand. Outside, alien weapons reached full power. Their commander raised his hand, ready to give the final order. "This species will be erased," Zyron said. Inside the prototype, Commander Kane placed his hand on the button. His voice was calm. His mind was clear. He spoke softly. Not to the aliens. Not to Earth. But to himself. "You were warned." Outside, the alien commander gave the order. "Fire." And at the exact same moment, Commander Elias Kane pressed the button. For a moment, nothing happened. The alien fleet fired their full power strike. Thousands of beams of destruction rushed toward the human prototype. Each beam carried enough energy to destroy entire continents. The alien officers watched with satisfaction. They believed this was the end. They believed humanity had failed. Inside the prototype, Commander Elias Kane did not move. His hand remained on the button. His face remained calm. He simply waited. Then suddenly, every screen inside the alien ships flickered. Warning symbols appeared everywhere. Their weapons shut down in the middle of firing. Energy disappeared. Their beams vanished before reaching the prototype. Confusion spread instantly. "What is happening?" one officer shouted. Another checked the systems. "Our weapons are failing." Outside, space itself began to change. The stars stretched into long lines. Light bent in impossible directions. It looked like reality itself was breaking. Alien ships froze in place. Their engines stopped responding. Their navigation systems went dark. Panic filled the alien fleet. Supreme Commander Xiron gripped his control panel tightly. "Restore power now," he ordered. But nothing responded. His ship was no longer under his control. Far away from the battlefield, deep inside alien territory, their homeworld rotated peacefully. It was a massive planet, covered with cities, filled with billions of lives. They had no idea what was happening. Inside their planetary science center, warning alarms suddenly screamed. Scientists rushed to their stations. Sensors detected something impossible. A signal had appeared, but it was not coming from nearby space. It was coming from everywhere. It had no clear source. It had no clear direction. It was simply there, growing stronger every second. One scientist spoke with fear. "This signal is locking onto us." Another replied, "That is not possible. No weapon can target an entire planet from that distance." But they were wrong. Back at the human prototype, hidden systems had fully awakened. This was the true purpose of the prototype. It was never designed to destroy ships. Ships were temporary. Fleets could be rebuilt. But homeworlds were forever. Commander Kane watched silently as new data appeared on his screen. Target lock confirmed. The alien fleet outside was helpless. Their ships floated like dead metal. Their weapons were useless. Their empire was blind. Supreme Commander Xiron felt something he had not felt in centuries. Fear. He opened a communication channel to the human prototype. His voice was no longer calm. "What have you done?" he demanded. Inside the prototype, Commander Kane answered for the first time. His voice was quiet, cold, certain. "You made the first attack." The alien commander tried to restore his systems, tried to escape, tried to do anything. But it was too late. Across the galaxy, on their homeworld, the sky began to change. The stars above them slowly disappeared. One by one, darkness replaced the light. Their scientists stared in horror. Their instruments stopped working. Their satellites fell silent. Panic spread across their entire planet. They had conquered hundreds of worlds. They had destroyed countless civilizations. They believed they were untouchable. But now, for the first time, they realized the truth. Humanity had never been weak. Humanity had been waiting. And now, it was their turn to feel helpless. On the alien homeworld, fear spread faster than anything they had ever known. Billions of citizens looked up at their sky. The stars were disappearing, one by one. At first, they thought it was a system failure, a sensor error. But then the darkness remained. It did not go away. It grew. Their moons vanished from view. Their satellites stopped responding. Every communication channel filled with panic. Scientists ran across control rooms, their hands shaking, their voices filled with fear. "We are losing orbital systems," one of them said. Another checked deeper scans. His face turned pale. "It is not just the satellites," he whispered. "The planet itself is being targeted." Across their world, massive cities began losing power. Lights flickered. Transportation stopped. Defense systems went offline. Their military, once the most powerful force in the galaxy, could do nothing. Their weapons could not lock onto the threat. Because the threat was not outside. It was everywhere. Back near the human prototype, the alien fleet floated helplessly. Supreme Commander Xiron watched his screen in horror. He was receiving live data from his homeworld. He saw his cities going dark. He saw his empire collapsing. "This cannot be happening," he said quietly. For the first time in his long life, he felt powerless. He opened a communication channel again. Not with anger, but with desperation. "Human," he said. "Stop this." Inside the prototype, Commander Elias Kane listened. His face showed no emotion. This moment had always been part of the mission. The alien commander continued. "We will retreat. We will leave your space forever. We will never return." His voice trembled. But Commander Kane knew the truth. If the prototype stopped now, the aliens would rebuild. They would return stronger. They would attack again. Humanity could not take that risk. He spoke calmly. "You were given a chance. You chose war." On the alien homeworld, the ground began to shake. At first, it was small, almost unnoticeable. Then it grew stronger. Buildings cracked. Massive towers collapsed. Citizens ran in panic. Ships tried to escape into space. But their engines failed. They fell back to the surface. Their sky turned darker. Not from clouds, but from reality itself breaking apart. Their planet was no longer stable. Their existence was being erased. Inside their science centers, the final reports came in. Planetary core destabilizing. Structural integrity failing. Total collapse unavoidable. Supreme Commander Zyron fell to his knees. He understood now. This was never a battle. This was judgment. Back inside the human prototype, Commander Kane watched the final moments. He did not celebrate. He did not smile. This was not victory. This was necessity. On his screen, the alien homeworld cracked apart. Massive fractures spread across its surface. Light escaped from deep inside the planet. Then, slowly, silently, the alien homeworld collapsed into nothing. No explosion. No fire. Just disappearance. As if it had never existed. Across the battlefield, every alien ship lost power completely. Their command was gone. Their empire was gone. Everything they had built, everything they had conquered, was erased in minutes. Commander Kane looked at the silent fleet. They were no longer a threat. They were survivors, witnesses, and they would carry one message to the universe. Humanity was not weak. Humanity was not helpless. Humanity was something far more dangerous. Humanity was prepared. Silence filled the battlefield. The alien fleet, once powerful and feared, now floated like empty shells in the darkness. Their ships had no command, no coordination, no purpose. They were alive, but their empire was gone. Supreme Commander Zyron remained on his knees. His hands trembled. His eyes stared at the last image of his homeworld. But the image was gone now. There was nothing left to see. No planet. No cities. No people. Only empty space. For the first time, he understood the truth. He had not attacked a weak species. He had attacked a prepared one. Inside the human prototype, Commander Elias Kane sat quietly. His mission was complete. His screen displayed the final confirmation. Target eliminated. Threat level 0. He took a slow breath. Not from relief, but from acceptance. He knew what this moment meant. Humanity had crossed a line. Not by choice, but by necessity. A new message appeared on his screen. Incoming transmission. Earth command. He pressed accept. A calm voice spoke. Commander Kane, report status. He answered clearly. Prototype activation successful. Alien command structure eliminated. There was a short silence. Then Earth command replied. Understood. You are ordered to remain in position. Await further instructions. The transmission ended. Commander Kane leaned back in his chair. Outside his window, the alien fleet remained still. They were no longer enemies. They were witnesses. Witnesses to humanity's true power. Far away, on Earth, deep inside a secure command center, human leaders watched everything. No one celebrated. No one cheered. This was never their goal. Humanity had always chosen peace. Humanity had always tried diplomacy. But humanity had also learned from its past. Peace without strength was fragile. Peace without defense was temporary. The prototype had been created for this exact moment. Not to conquer, not to destroy, but to ensure survival. Back in space, Commander Kane looked at the red button. It was silent again. Harmless again. Waiting. He wondered if it would ever be needed again. He hoped it would not. But humanity was ready if it was. Because somewhere in the vast darkness of the universe, other empires existed. Other fleets waited. Other species watched. Some with curiosity. Some with ambition. Some with hunger. And one day, they might make the same mistake. They might see humanity and think it was weak. They might laugh. They might attack. And if that day came, humanity would not panic. Humanity would not run. Humanity would respond. The prototype remained in the darkness. Silent. Patient. Watching. Waiting. Protecting a small blue planet called Earth. A planet that had learned one simple truth. Humanity did not seek war. But humanity would always finish it.